football back at the MCG and Marvel, and with crowds.
As soon as possible is the short answer. As soon as possible. I still don't know what tomorrow will bring, what the next day will bring. We are clearly looking to make changes on a week-by-week basis. We will look to the end of next week for those very reasons. And, you know, the fact that footy's going ahead in Geelong is a sign that we can move to exactly those kind of settings down the track.
So we could be without football in Melbourne the weekend after next?
I'm hoping that we can get footy back to Melbourne as soon as possible. I don't want it to be deferred any longer than it has to be, but I don't want us to be in a situation again where there might be cases in the community going to the football with this Kappa variant or Delta variant in particular. You know, the Kings Park transmission is a demonstration again of people who haven't had face-to-face contacts, people who don't live together, work together, who haven't been in a restaurant together. We're talking about people who maybe have passed each other in a shared corridor, or who maybe have walked through the same space at different times with the virus just sitting around as an airborne fog. That's the challenge, and I don't want that to be spread through a sporting event. So we just need to see how this week pans out.
Just one other one while I've got you. If you're for the school holidays coming up and you're flying interstate, particularly to Queensland, what's the situation there?
So just follow the rules of those jurisdictions. If there's no constraint, you're obviously allowed to go to all of those jurisdictions, but you need to look at what their rules are for people coming from the whole of Victoria, or indeed some of them just have Metro Melbourne as a hotspot effectively.
What kind of documentation do you need to prove that negative test? Is that a piece of paper or a text?
We think it's just the SMS message on your phone to show as proof. We want to make it as simple as possible.
Did you consider making it a wider requirement for anyone making an overnight trip to the regions?
No, I don't think so. You know, I think we're talking about settings in the regions that will manage that risk. You know, it's not that ski fields are the only place where transmission can occur, but we want that extra level of precaution for those settings.
It's really hard for them to be kind of on tenterhooks for this weekly announcement that we've got going on at the moment. Why not come up with some kind of roadmap or plan similar to what we had at the end of the second wave last year, so they can at least plan for density limits, reopening, things like that?
Look, I think last year was extremely precautionary. We were coming out of a really huge second wave, and we looked at days and days of zeros or days and days without mystery cases before we changed. If we were going along such a conservative path, you could lay that out. We are trying to go back